I hear the term straight out of camera all of the time, and I'm not sure most people understand what it implies. They think it means unedited, but what it really means is that they're happy with the way it was edited for them. And it doesn't matter what you do to create an image you're excited about. Getting excited is the most important thing about photography. Straight out of camera or not, take and enjoy and share your images. But let's talk about what straight out of camera really means. A truly uninterpreted image, if we could see it, would probably look like this. Just luminosity data from each pixel. But we never see anything like this in reality. What we're presented with on the back of the camera looks quite different. It looks like what was in front of the camera when we ordered the camera to record the scene. The image here is straight out of camera. I haven't personally altered it, other than importing the file into Lightroom. This second image is the same picture, but I made decisions about the crop, the brightness, the white balance and the saturation. Plenty of global adjustments in this one. If you don't like the image, that's on me. But this image feels like what I set out to achieve. Hold on. Let's go back to that first version. The data recorded by the sensor must have been processed somehow to create the final image, just like the second one, right? Those raw zeros and ones are converted for us into something we can see. There must be some translation from the electronic data collected by the sensor to the colours and luminosity of each pixel we see on the screen. And that's manipulation. It was manipulated by some engineer working for Canon who programmed my camera long before the picture was taken. Even raw file previews have a base edit automatically applied where the white balance and the colour rendition are set. Yeah, saying an image is straight out of camera really means that your image was processed by a clever employee of your camera or your phone's manufacturer, and that you're satisfied with their guess at interpreting your photograph. It's a guess because the people who created this first pass in-camera preset algorithm have never seen and probably will never see your photograph. It's the same as applying a preset in post-production, but it happens automatically in your camera after the shot's taken. And that's absolutely fine. If you like the result, then you're done. And that's an efficient way to enjoy your photographs. It's the equivalent of sending your roll of film to a lab and getting prints back. All of the images my parents took of me as a kid were straight out of camera. The colours and the exposures were determined really by the film that they used and the print lab that it was sent to. The work done by whoever took the picture was over as soon as they released the shutter button. They're spontaneous, they're quirky, and they're unpretentious. They've got a sense of reality to them, and I wouldn't replace them with anything. On the other hand, we can think of photography as being a two-part process, the in-camera decisions and the post-processing decisions. Actually, there's a third part. Ansel Adams said that the print is the final action, and all three parts together constitute making a photograph. Intentional post-processing has been a part of photography since the beginning. If you have an alternative opinion on how your photograph should be edited than the one dictated by your camera, you can edit it yourself. It takes more time, but you get exactly what you want your picture to look like in the end. And they are all the same decisions that the engineer made in the straight out of camera version. Photographs are edited either way. We're just choosing if the style belongs to a stranger's best guess algorithm or the style is due to your own post-production decisions. I don't want us to confuse straight out of camera with getting it right in camera. They're somewhat related. Getting it right in camera in its purest form leads to a straight out of camera result. Both methods avoid spending unnecessary time at the computer after the image is taken. But getting it right in camera means front-loading as many of your own decisions as possible that would otherwise happen in post. It's a form of pre-visualization. Exposure is the critical one, but also the crop, the white balance, the composition. And for portraits, there's pre-touching, where you check for straight hairs and ruffled clothes before the shutter button is pressed. Pre-touching avoids time retouching. Getting it right in camera is intentional work up front, whereas straight out of camera means you're accepting what you're given. Each approach can work for different people in different situations, and can lead to very different results. I think photographers generally mix and match these methods depending on the situation, like using straight out of camera while they're on vacation, or getting it right in camera for a still life study, or using intentional post-processing for a client shoot. Which of these methods do you rely on? And which of these videos are you going to watch next?